Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Okay, it's making me reauthorize my Facebook account. Welcome, 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 everyone. All right, let's try this again. Excited to be here today. All right, let me double check to make sure we're good to go. Oh, okay, we're live. All right. Welcome, 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 everyone. 𝐏𝐻𝐚𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐞𝐝 here this morning. Super excited to be here with you all this morning. And today I'm sharing about money making books, And I'm really excited about this particular topic today because I run into and I meet a lot of experts who write books, and then either they don't sell them or they're not able to do anything with them. And I am here to help you to change that story. I'm here to help you to change that narrative, and I'm here to help you to shift the direct and shift trajectory of your experience, especially if you are in the process of writing a book, or especially if you already have a book and it's like, you know what, let me do something different with this. So if you new to me, is 𝐏𝐻𝐚𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐞𝐝. I get to be. I work with high earning entrepreneurs and business owners, as well as women executives, to help you truly self-publish. We're talking about self-publishing books. We're talking about publishing your IP, your intellectual property, into different products and services that you can monetize. And of course, we're talking about publishing your next level life, like becoming that woman, becoming that high level leader that you've always wanted to be, leading in your life, leading in your business, and achieving your next level goals through self publishing. All right. And so I'm excited to be here, and I'm really excited to discuss this topic for today. All right. So we're talking about 5 keys to an income producing brand building book. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this today is because, as I was saying today, you've been catching my live streaming series, is that oftentimes when people write books, or when they think about writing a book, they don't also equate writing a book to making money. And if you are in the knowledge economy, or if you already have a successful business and you want to build a brand, or you want to build a revenue stream in the knowledge economy, then you need to know how to do this, because there's so many people who self-publish books. They put them on Amazon, and then they never hear anything about the book. You never hear anything about the book ever again, right? It's just not a success. And so just being able, I think I sent out a text message to my text list yesterday, and then somebody texts back saying, hey, well, I haven't been able to monetize my book. Here's the thing. Having a book, or having a thought leadership book by itself, isn't enough to monetize it. It's just not enough to monetize it. Just because you have a product doesn't mean it's going to sell. You have to have some elements in it, and it has to be written in a way, it's got to be designed in a way, and it's got to be positioned to help you make sales. And so that's what we're talking about today. I also know a lot of thought leaders who write books, and then there's a lot of uh, energy and momentum around the book launch, but after the launch, it's crickets. Like nobody even knows it anymore, because you don't talk about it, and you don't leverage it to position you as an expert or as an authority in your industry. So when we're talking about creating a stream of business in the knowledge economy, right? When we're talking about creating a stream of business in the knowledge economy, this means that you have to literally shift how you have to literally shift how you approach your book. So instead of doing it just because it's always been a lifelong goal, or instead of creating it because it's something that you've always wanted to create, you really have to approach it as if it's the cornerstone of your marketing and messaging in your business. Like your thought leadership book is the cornerstone of your thought leadership empire. It's the cornerstone, it's the foundation of your information-based business empire. And I have to I have to make that differentiation, because there are a lot of people, like whether you're an attorney, whether you're a therapist, whether you are a doctor, right? You should also have a branch of business that's a part of the knowledge economy and not just a part of the service-based business. If you're an online coach, you are emerging into the knowledge economy because you've created some type of curriculum based offer, but you also need to be working on building your business and your brand and your audience offline as well. Because we've seen literally in the past 2 weeks, especially for those of you all who already have online businesses, you've seen how quickly things can change. You've seen how, platform here today, gone tomorrow. You've seen how access to different platforms can literally be changed in the blink of an eye, or how platforms, the rules around them can change with the decision of one person. So you really have to begin to think about, to approach your business, and thinking about it from a perspective of longevity. Outside of just my coaching program, how else can I monetize my expertise? And instead of having to show up on social media every single day, what are some of the other ways and some of the other options and methods that I can begin to implement to grow my leads, to bring more people, into my audience, right? That means you're going to need to tap into media. You're going to need to tap into podcast interviews. You're going to need to probably go to some offline networking, right? These are some that we're really going to have to start doing, especially when we want to grow our expertise and grow our brands in the knowledge economy. Like there's no place, whether you're working a corporate career or whether you're owning a business, where you can literally put all your eggs in one basket. You've got to diversify. And so that's what we're talking a little bit about today. All right. And so I hope that everyone is with me. I'm excited to get started on this topic today. And we're about to get into it. So if you're leaving me comments or anything like that, I just want to let you know that I'm not able to see the comments, but I will be able to come in after this stream to respond to any comments that any of you all may be leaving, whether you're tuning in on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or whatnot. Okay, so let's get into it. We're talking about the 5 keys to an income and expanding book, because it's so important to know, and it's so important to understand that just because you have a book, it doesn't mean that you've written or published an income producing book. It doesn't mean that you've written, oh gosh, give me a second, guys. No. All right. Let me go back to Instagram. All right. Just because you have a book, it doesn't mean that you have an income producing book. Just because you've written a book, it doesn't mean that the book that you've written is positioned to help you grow your brand, right? There are some key elements that you must have if you want to accomplish these goals. And that's what I'm sharing with you all today. Good morning, everyone on Instagram. That's my husband calling. I opened my phone on my tablet so he could see I was going live. So I'm going to call him back when we finish up here. All right. So I hope that you have some notes. I will leave this up for a few days on if you're tuning in on Instagram or LinkedIn. So if you need to come back to it, you can, and you can, listen to it. You can take some notes down or whatnot. So the first key to an income producing brand expansion book is that you must be clear on your audience purpose and goals. It matters. It makes no sense, especially for those of you all who have already written a book. It makes no sense to sit here and complain that, oh, I've written a book and I can't monetize it and no one can teach me how to monetize it. No, I teach. Somebody said that in a text message to the text message list. Yeah, I was like, okay, you clearly not pay attention, because I teach monetization all the time. However, just because you have the keys and the strategies to monetize your product, or just because you have the keys and the strategies to monetize your book, doesn't mean that your book is positioned to help you make money. If your book has a cover that looks very mature-ish, it's not going to convert. If you've likely just written a memoir that's all about your life story and all of those things, it's not going to convert the way that you want it to convert, because your readers don't really care about what happened to you. Like, people are either buying fiction or nonfiction. Nonfiction books are books that people can learn from. Fiction books are for entertainment. So if they're buying something for entertainment, then they're going to buy a fiction book that has a whole entire storyline, characters, or whatnot. But for a nonfiction book, in order for someone to purchase a nonfiction book, this means that typically that they're interested in a topic or some type of challenge that they have that they are trying to solve. And they're looking for the solution to that challenge through books, through podcasts, through videos on YouTube, through website articles or whatnot, and YouTube videos and stuff that only go so far. So typically, people who are serious about getting to the next level or getting some type of breakthrough with whatever it is that they have challenges with, they are going to pick up a book. They're going to pick up a book. Now, that's not to say that memoirs don't have a place, but they don't have a place when you are building a business in the knowledge economy. Yes, we have politicians, we have celebrities that already have a fan base. They already have, people that are interested in them in a certain way. They're writing the memoirs. But as for you, you do not need to write a memoir. You need to be very clear on your audience. Like, who is this book for? And this means that you cannot be vague and you cannot be broad. You really need to be very niched, especially when you want to expand your thought leadership and build your credibility in your audience. You need to have a clear identity and clear goal of who you are writing this book to. You're not writing the book for a group of people. You want to think about the one person that you're writing this book for. Who, like, if there was one reader who would be the best person for this book, and this book would be for that person, who is that? Because you got to understand that there are hundreds of that one person. There are thousands of that one person. There are millions of that one person. So you need to write your book to one person, but you got to be clear on who that one person is, their qualities, their character, their challenges, and the solutions that they are seeking. You also need to be clear on your purpose. And this isn't just for your book. This is for any business, especially those of you all who already have coaching and consulting businesses and you're not monetizing the way that you would like. This is key foundational marketing and messaging that you have to consider, whether you are creating a product in the form of a book or developing some type of offer to bring to market and sell. So you've got to be clear on your purpose. What's the role of this product in your business? And what role is it going to play in helping you to increase your income? So when you are writing a thought leadership book to grow your brand and business in the knowledge economy, you got to understand this is not for those of you who want to write a book, but you don't know where to start. It's not for that. It's not for the I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start. This is not for you, because as an expert, as an authority, when you are writing a thought leadership book, you already know where to start in terms of your topic, because you're writing a book based on your expertise. You're writing a book based on the results that you've already been getting, either whether it's been in your career, whether it's been in your business, or whether it's been in your life. Like, you already have a baseline of where to start. Like, you know what it is you want to talk about. You just need help with organizing your ideas and delivering your ideas and packaging your ideas in a way that's going to communicate value to the reader, that in a way that's impactful, that's in a way that's engaging, and in a way that is going to sell. Okay. Number two, you need to develop a signature system called a framework. Now, I'll be taking you through this process step by step in my upcoming shop, Write Your Book, Grow Your Brand, Monetize Your Expertise. If you have not yet secured your spot, you can go to www.𝐏𝐻𝐿𝐿.com/book and brand, or you can comment brand in the comments, and my team and I will give you the link. It's $19 for general admission, $29 for VIP. It's 5 days plus 2 bonus days. It's a total of 7 days. So in this workshop, I'm going to be taking you step by step through number 2, which is to develop a signature system. Your signature system is the framework that will be used to develop not just your book, but as well as your other forms of your intellectual property, including your workshops, your corporate trainings, curriculum-based programs and courses, live events, coaching offers, and more, speaking topics, signature talks, and more. You've got to develop a signature system called a framework on which your book will be based on. And you can refer back to your framework or teach on your framework in and throughout your book. When you know your framework and we are able to refer to it throughout, this is one of the strategies that is going to make it extremely easy for you not to just write a book once you get to the writing, not for you to finish it, not just for you to finish it in record speed, but having your framework is the key ingredient that's going to position you to be able to communicate the value about your book, about your extending services and offers, and be able to sell them. We've had clients, and even I've had clients that have come from my book into a $25,000 offer. I've had clients that, because they were able to develop a framework, because they were able to articulate, able to use their framework as the solution to an organization's problems, were able to generate $10,000, $15,000 in pre-sales from bulk book orders, from selling their book in bulk before it came out to corporations, and then follow it up with the 5-figure training contract. This is how it's done, everyone. So this is not just about, oh, I want to write a book and tell my story and just talk about all the things that happened to me. No, when you want to grow your brand and when you want to monetize your expertise, you have got to approach this strategically. It might take a long time, but it does take a strategy and intentionality. Okay. Number 3, when you want to write your book, when you want to, create an income producing, brand expanding book, then you need to embrace self-publishing as a lucrative, profitable publishing option. Okay. And let me talk about this, because a lot of people think that they need to just go right into traditional publishing. They need to create a book proposal. They need to go find an agent. Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with traditional publishing. But as an expert who has collaborated, who has coached authors who have traditional publishing contracts, I've coached them behind the scenes, right? As someone who has literally worked with thousands of authors, both self-published and traditionally published. One thing about traditional publishing is that you must already have an engaged audience. Number 1, because even if you get in advance, you've got to be able to show that you can recoup that, especially if you want additional book deals. And even as a traditionally published author used to take the bulk of your marketing and promotion. And this is the element, and this is the key that a lot of experts who go into the publishing space, they don't realize. They feel like just because they got a book deal or just because they received an advance, then the publishing company is going to take on the bulk of the marketing and promotions while you could just sit back and twiddle your fingers. It's not like that. Publishing companies are just that. They're publishing companies. They're not marketing companies. They're not, publicists. So even in the traditional publishing space, you still have to take on the responsibility of marketing and promoting your book and being the face and the primary spokesperson of your brand and for your product. Oftentimes, like in this industry, especially when it comes to publishing independently, folks are just like, oh, well, I want to just write my book. And they find the cheapest, most inexpensive way to do that. And when you want to grow a thought leadership brand and leverage your book to, secure 4, 5, and even 6-figure clients and consulting and training and development offers on the back end, no, this is an investment, because this is an investment that really should pay off for the rest of your life. So you need to approach it differently. You have to come into it with the mindset, oh, I need to go ahead and get my marketing together. I need to get my visibility plan together. I need to start getting my back end systems together. I need to actually start building an engaged audience. I need to start connecting with the people, connecting with the podcast hosts, connecting with the organizations that already have access to the people that I need to get in front of, instead of just thinking about it as some amateur project just so you can check a box off of something that you've accomplished. No, this is literally the cornerstone of your thought leadership empire. And I want you to think about it. Anybody that has a very strong thought leadership empire, we're talking about the Brian Tracy's, we're talking about the Lisa Nichols, we're talking about the Tony Robbins, right? We're talking about the Tabitha Browns at this point. We're talking about the Iyanla Vanzants. All of them have books and offers, books, events, and offers, books, programs, and offers, but they have books. They get on video or they get on stages and they talk. Every single one of them have multiple books, and each book serves a different purpose and leads to a different offer. Thought leadership, not just being an influencer and not just being the run-of-the-mill author, quote unquote, who publishes their book on Amazon and then checks it off and then thinks that you know it all because your book is on Amazon. I was talking to someone who was binge watching. They said they found me on YouTube and they were binge watching my content. And this person had like 6 or 7 books, but told me that they had made less than $500 in like the past 2 years. Which is insane to me, especially with 5 or 6 books. Like if you've got that many books, oh, we should be raking in the dough through book sales, through bulk orders, through speaking, through training. Like there's no reason. And so when she wanted to work with me, she applied to one of my programs. And then when I guess it was out of her budget or whatnot, but then I extended, hey, well, at least you need to come join us in the membership. It's only, $90 at the time. We've since increased the price. At the time, it was like only like $99 a month. And she was like, well, I got to think about it. I was like, well, you don't want to grow. We have people that have made $1,000 in a day from my free workshops. So you mean to tell me that, and here's the thing, like we expect some type of payoff or return without putting any skin in the game, not just financially, but time-wise. Like right now, I am pursuing my doctorate. I'm in my last set of doctoral classes. I have to put aside the time to study. I've got to put aside the time to work. Like, where does this assumption come from that, oh, if I want something, I want something that I've never had, or I want to grow to a level that I've never grown to, but I can just do it on my own, or I can just figure it out. But you haven't been able to do it yet. Or I can just do, you can do why to a certain point, but after a certain point, you're going to go as far as you've been able to go on your own. And if you want to surpass that, then you need some help. It just is what it is, right? So you want to embrace self-publishing as an option. And even with traditional publishing, with traditional publishing, you must already have an engaged audience, and you still have to take on the bulk of your marketing and promotion. But with self-publishing, you can leverage self-publishing to grow your brand, to expand your credibility, and then you can traditionally publish down the line. And I had a client that did this, Dr. 𝐏𝐚𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐞𝐝. She has an amazing YouTube following, an amazing LinkedIn following. She already had a following. But starting out, she chose to self-publish not one, but 2 books in our programs. And she generated multiple 6-figures in both bookers and combined with corporate trainings. She was able to do that on her own. So then she was able to get, when she chose to traditionally publish, she was able to get a publishing agent and then take the numbers to them. She was able to say, hey, this is what I was able to do on my own. I was published 2 books. I built this audience. We've generated this income from books and related services. And of course, now that's somebody they want to bring under contract. So then after 2 self-published books, she inked a book deal with Wiley Publishing and then published under them. So if you don't already have an audience or some methods and strategies for monetization, then you need to leverage self-publishing. You need to leverage live streaming. You need to leverage speaking on in-person and virtual stages as a method to grow your audience, to expand your ability and grow your brand. And you need to start getting in the media. Podcasts. I don't know if you guys watch the press briefing. Listen, this is a point in time when we have to start keeping our personal feelings out of things and start looking at what's being done. Not sure if you all awful grammar. I'm not sure if you all caught the White House briefing from yesterday. There was mass hysteria, going on with the pausing of federal incomes. And so they did a briefing. At the end of the briefing, I want you all to catch this. Keep your personal feelings out of what's going on. At the end of the briefing, they said that they were going to start opening up and allowing podcasters and independent media outlets and to do interviews and ask questions. So some of you all are stuck at it. Things used to be done. The current presidential administration, one of their marketing strategies was that they leverage podcasts to get in front of new audiences, while the other candidate did not. And that was one of the strategies that they used to tap into a younger audience, to tap into a different type of audience. And it was that marketing strategy that helped them to push them over the edge. Y'all got to start looking and paying attention to what's going on and paying attention to the shifts. We are in the middle of a shift and a transition. But if you're too stuck in your emotions about what's going on to pay attention, or if you're too stuck in the old ways of how things have traditionally been done, you are going to be like Blockbuster and you're going to be left behind. Tap into it. Tap into it. Independent outlets, building your own brand and building the type of brand that other people want to come to is the way to go. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you feel uncertain, regardless of what your personal feelings are, there is no better time than right now to begin building or expanding the platform that you've created. There's no better time than now than to step into the knowledge economy by leveraging your book and creating a book to serve as the foundation and the cornerstone of your thought leadership empire. And for those of you all who already have a book and you know that you've been sitting on your behind. You know that you haven't been doing what you know to do or been doing what you can do. Take this as your message to get up off of your behind and get into action today. Number 4, the fourth key to writing an income producing brand expanding book is that you need to structure your chapters. And this is an element that a lot of people miss because they think, oh, if I'm a strong writer, I can write my book on my own, but there's no type of structure to their chapters. Writing a well-developed high-level book does not mean that it has to be traditionally published. But it does mean that you can't just brain dump your thoughts. It does mean that each of your chapters should be structured with core elements, including an engaging opening, including a relatable story, including strategies, insights, a closed chapter, and a call to action. And these are things that I actually teach step by step, teach my clients in my program, the Authority Collective Mastermind. And the fifth key to writing an income producing brand expanding book is that you've got to leverage your book to grow and expand your marketing channels. You've got to leverage your book to grow your email list. You've got to leverage your book to develop your marketing system. And this is the part that most people miss because they're so caught up in, oh, I'm writing a book, I'm a self-published author, and you don't have any of your marketing and sales system set up, and you're losing tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars because of it. Your book should funnel your readers back to your email list. Your book should grow your list of internal buyers because a book is a low-cost product. It's the low-cost barrier to entry where you can pay for it, and now they're in your ecosystem. Your book should funnel your readers into other products or services that you offer. This is what a funnel is. It's a journey to helping someone become a client. It's not a tech tool that you use. Now, if you want to go more into this, I will be teaching this and more in my upcoming workshop. We kick off on Monday, guys. You guys have 5 days to register. 5 days to register before we shut it down. I will be teaching this and more in my upcoming book, in my upcoming workshop, Write Your Book, Grow Your Brand, Monetize Your Expertise. Now, we're going to be meeting live every single day from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern. And in the event you're working, you got something going on, or you can't make it live, replays are available for a limited time. So don't let a potential scheduling conflict be the reason why. Listen, thought leaders, change agents, we look for solutions. We don't just be stuck on why we can't do something. We look for solutions to get it done. We find ways to get it done because let me tell you something, there's nothing that's convenient about business ownership. So if you're one of those people that's like, oh, this isn't, I got something else to do at the time, I can't make it. Oh, that means that you're stuck focusing on your challenges instead of looking at solutions, and you're not going to grow your business. Because true change agents, we look for ways to make something happen. We ask questions. We look for ways to get things done. All right. So you can go to 𝐏𝐻₼𝐚𝐤𝐼𝐴c.com/book and brand to register, or you can comment brand in the comments and me and my team will come give you the link. All right. There's general admission $, VIP admission is $29, and it's going to get you access to all 7 days of the live training. If you choose VIP, it'll give you access to our Zoom room, a workshop workbook, and you can ask me questions during our hot seats and Q&A time. It gives everyone the access to the live trainings. If you're general admission, you'll be watching the live trainings via the Facebook group. And you'll be able to sit in on our hot seat session. However, you won't be able to ask questions unless you're VIP. So right now, most people are buying VIP tickets. All right. So we definitely want to see you there. We kick off on Monday. And this is the Write Your Book, Grow Your Brand, Monetize Your Expertise workshop. Even if you've done a workshop with me before, you're already a published author and you feel like you need a refresher, this is great for you. Okay. All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you all in the workshop on Monday. Until next time, peace, love, and impact. See you soon.